Good day. My name, for broadcast purposes, is Grandpa 1940. I would like to talk to you today on a single subject, that of the threat of anarchy in our schools. When I speak of homosexuals and of those people who dress up in women's clothing and attach the label transgender to their actions, I speak of them as perverts. This is not because I hate them, it's because I believe that anyone who attempts the act of intercourse, sexual intercourse, without the possibility of a child being born through that act is perverting that act. They may call it love. Charles Darwin names it for what it is, barren and perverse. Under the headings and causes of equality, as well as diversity and tolerance, the true false gods of the liberal left, your government, inclusive of your oh-so-tolerant Prime Minister, your education ministers and leaders, your very head teachers, are inviting into the classrooms and corridors of primary and junior schools the purveyors of bedlam, of perversion and of anarchy. Under the banners of British values, we, as parents and grandparents, are supposed to remain mute as groups of men dressed up in women's clothing shall be visiting their schools. It will all be done in the worst possible taste, and all in the cause of sacred cause of telling 5, 6 and 7-year-old kids that their perversions, their ideas about a perverted ideal of sexual activity and activities between consenting adults are not only legal, indeed they are acceptable. Why? Because they are part of the updated British values. I am not for 1 second stating that these people are doing something illegal. Their prizes, equality, civil partnerships, and of course same-sex marriage are written into the statute books. My objection stems from the fact that, all in the cause of equality and diversity, our young children are to be taught that sodomy, buggery, and all the other tripe is now to form part of those once prized British values. Do you want your young daughter or son, who has not even reached puberty, to be informed that it is not only legal, it shall be acceptable for some man to insert his penis into your daughter or son's ass, when of course the time is right? The kids are also to be informed that whatever passes for sex or fulfillment within the LGBT community is not only to be condoned, it is to be celebrated. Do you want your rights as a parent, which include, as of now, being able to withdraw your kids from classes which are supposed to inform them about how their reproductive organs work and how men and women are drawn to one another as part of the greatest and most majestic human emotion, namely love, to be lost, to lose that right, all in the sacred cause of equality, diversity, and for all I know, lunacy? If the parents of secondary schools are advised of this type of visit, I believe that, whilst I find the aims and ideals truly detestable, the kids in secondary classes are of an age when they can decide and understand for themselves the difference between right and wrong, the difference between propaganda and reality, the difference between that tripe spouted by some cross-dressing man and the truth as told them by their parents. As of the date when, after consultations, which is government speak for doing whatever they wish, the Ofsted inspection heavy mobs will descend upon the schools where even the slightest resistance to their perverted cause exists, and will proceed to stamp out any voice of any parent which stands against their rule. The trench-coated Nazi Gestapo would look like a set of pansies compared to the gimlet-eyed henchmen from Ofsted, the agency which will not tolerate dissent, will not tolerate disobedience, because the sacred cause of equality must gain the bowing down of everyone, even if they disagree, because your conservative government says so. Oh, and by the way, do not even consider looking across towards the political aisle on the left, because they are up to their very eyeballs if not already elsewhere. Ask the teachers at Vishnitz Girls' School, an Orthodox Jewish school in Hackney, North London, if their religious beliefs were taken into the slightest consideration before Ofsted failed them 3 times in a row because the Jewish teachers refused to tell their small charges about homosexual behaviour and about how everything that their mothers and fathers have believed in the past are as nothing, because the new gods of diversity and equality and, of course, lunacy dictate that in this brave new world anything goes, and your new rulers will not tolerate dissent, not from you, nor you, or even you. However, there is one class of school where presumably this demonstration of perverted practice will not be tolerated at all. The Ofsted inspectors promoting the perverts will not be welcomed at any majority Muslim school, primary or junior, mainly because the Muslim parents know what is the right time to tell their children about sex, about the human body, and what is and is not acceptable about various practices among the so-called LGBT community, and the advisability of letting perverts loose in their kids' classrooms to tell her the joys of sodomy, buggery, and all the other delights of the LGBT fraternity. Ask the parents of Muslim kids in Luton's Olive Tree Primary School what their attitude is towards the preaching of homosexual attitudes is. The Ofsted inspectors, the modern Gauleiters, presumably all uniformed with the appropriate emblems of office, will be unable to threaten a majority Muslim school with closure or with downgrading, because the Muslim parents will not stand for it. And that, folks, is possibly the first time that I have ever said anything approvingly about Muslim faith-based education. I thank you for your time, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.